Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Neutral News Network. I'm Brian alongside Zach and Jake, and we are here on September 24th, 2025. And it is officially the first episode that we have had in a while where it is now dark outside when we start the episode. So the seasonal depression is coming in hard and fast, and
It's
we're all
still
exhausted.
warm.
But the sun is disappearing, Jake. It is leaving us forever. The sun
I
is
know, but it's
evaporating.
still hot.
It is kind of ridiculous how muggy it was today, especially up here in Northwest Ohio. I like stepped out of my
Yeah.
office and I'm like, why? This is ridiculous.
Yeah, my
So,
brother said it was 92 yesterday in
but he's
Mississippi.
yeah, I was about to say he's down in Mississippi, so that's at least like slightly forgivable. But
Yeah.
uh, I don't know what Zachary has to wrap up the day today, but we might have some twin sisters. They're not both female names on the hurricanes, but we might have some twin hurricanes out in the Atlantic later this week. So I don't know if you want to chat about that later.
I might. I just might.
Perfect. Well, I just want to give everybody a quick synopsis of what we got going on here. So, we are going to be talking about the upcoming midterms and some of the special elections that have gone on so far in the wonderful year of 2025, which has led to, I believe, right now, the Democrats. I believe they have about, I think it's 214 or 215 members, which takes the GOP majority down to three, give or take.
Mm.
So definitely has shrunk that margin, and a lot of the, I would say a lot of the special elections so far haven't been surprises, but we'll get into that later. First off, we're going to go ahead and kick off our top U.S. economy news articles. So, family of national airport crash victim sues American Airlines and federal government. So, if you remember back, man, this was around the beginning of the year. Um, there was that American Airlines crash that occurred outside of Ronald Reagan International Airport in Washington, D.C., that killed all the passengers on board and all of the individuals who were on the Black Hawk helicopter that airline ended up crashing into. So I'm sure there's still a lot of investigations ongoing with that, even to this day. And it'll be interesting to kind of see where that goes. Obviously, I'm sure that's going to be a long, long lasting litigation because it's never easy to sue the federal government. I mean, it's easy to do it, but it's never easy to win. Next, Excel Energy will
True.
pay 600. Right, exactly. It's the federal government has a lot of money to spend on lawyers, believe it or not.
And they can make more.
Correct. Um, Excel Energy will pay $640 million to settle claims from Denver area wildfire that burned over 1,000 acres. Um, so obviously, good for those individuals who are able to go and reclaim some of those funds. Obviously, doesn't replace the fact that their homes were destroyed or their properties, businesses, etc., were destroyed. But any little bit helps, especially being able to pay back some of those folks for the things that they've lost, especially if they lost loved ones. Not hopefully that this doesn't keep happening, but we know that we're getting into kind of more advanced wildfire season out in the West Coast. Doesn't seem, knock on wood, doesn't seem to be too awful right about now. But I mean, obviously, I believe the worst time for it is usually in the late December, early January time where we get really fierce Santa Ana winds out in that area. So probably the worst is yet to come for West Coast wildfires, but as of right now, hasn't been a major news story for this portion of the year. And last but not least, kind of the more surprising thing so far is that U.S. new home sales jumped to more than 3.5 year high. Um, now, I see where it says economists dismiss the rise is probably nothing more than an anomaly, but I will say that there has been a few data reports that have come out recently that have stated that new home prices, like brand new, construction homes never lived in before, on the median are becoming cheaper than buying a used home or an old construction home. It'll be interesting to see if that trend continues. I know that's definitely not the case where I live. All of the new construction home here are like $500,000 plus.
Well, wait. So, say that again?
So the
The
the new home sales, like new construction home sales, have
Yeah.
jumped to a 3.5 year high,
Hmm.
and the median home price for new construction, I believe, is now lower than the pre-built construction home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I would assume that that's why we're seeing kind of a spike in the home sales for new homes because people are
Well,
still desperate to buy a house, and it's probably one of the cheaper ones on the market anymore.
well,
Is
yeah,
one
because
that's just
they're
a
they
new build.
go up so quick, and they're not as well made.
They're not as well made, but the thing is, like, you also get a ton of incentives to buy that. Like those home
True,
constructors, they'll buy points off the mortgage. They'll potentially give
that's
you
true.
discounts on this final sale price. They're much more flexible with the final sale price because they just want to make their money back at some point, especially if these homes are sitting vacant for months. So they'll drop those new home prices where you've got to compete with somebody who's lived in that home, has been attached to that home potentially for years, who they don't want to sell it, they're not going to budge, and they're not going to lower their prices.
Yeah, there's
While,
less negotiation,
yeah,
less, but less incentives.
right, less incentive for them to move the home, where the
Right,
construction
yeah,
company's just like, we want it gone, we don't care anymore.
yeah.
Yeah, so not a huge shock that's going on, but just interesting to see. I know the housing market is still absolutely frozen, like solid for the most part. There's not a
And it's
lot
gonna.
of
What do
movement
you
going on there.
do? You think it'll go up or down?
Well,
Do you think it'll 5 years? Do you think it'll be cheaper?
5 years, do I think it'll be cheaper? Do I get any do I get any caveats or no?
No, just
No?
that's it. Do you think it'll be easy? Okay. Do you think it'll
Uh,
be any easier to buy a home?
do I think
Any
it'll be any easier?
cheaper? Yeah, any cheaper, I should say.
Yes. And I'm guessing. I'm just guessing. I think it'll be easier. I don't think the economy will be better though. How about that? I think that it'll be easier to buy a home in the fact that interest rates will be lower and home
Hmm.
prices will be cheaper. However, I do not think it'll be easier for individuals to buy a home because the economy will be in worse shape in 5 years. That's my
So,
opinion.
so the homes will be cheaper, but the buying power of the
The individuals
average
purchasing them will be lower.
it will be lower, so it really
Yeah,
won't even matter. That's
correct.
what you're
That's
saying.
that's that's my 2 cents. But
Okay,
as
all right.
Zachary as
I just
Zachary
wanted
knows,
your
I've been
take on
wrong
it.
about this for like 5 years, so I'm
That's
prepared
fair.
to be wrong about it for another five, I guess,
See, I hope you're wrong in the sense that it's
because the
easier for.
economy's bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I hope the economy's better.
yeah. Don't we all, Jake? Don't we all? Listen, as long as none of us get fired, it's fine. We've got this podcast to fall back to with our 43 subscribers, and they will financially support us the entire way. I
Hey, we're
believe
on
in you.
TikTok. We're on TikTok too
We
now.
are on TikTok too. That's true. We need to start getting those TikTok checks. But Jake, that requires us to post things on TikTok and not just rely solely on Zachary. You
Yeah, I
guys are
know.
looking
I
into the
know.
behind the scenes of this entire operation.
That's
Uh,
okay.
is it? Zachary's just like shaking his head. No, it's not okay. He's like, I'm gonna fight you all. The problem is that I'm much closer for Zachary to fight than he is to you, so I'm gonna get the brunt of it. He's gonna hit me in the back of the head with a bowling ball at bowling on Friday.
Rip.
It's doable. It'll be
At
an
least your
accident.
head will
Don't
go
worry.
straight.
It'll be an accident, he says.
Your head will fly off your body and get a strike. That'll be good.
Well, that would be impressive. Actually, you know, they say, what is it? Your head weighs 10 pounds. Is that what it is?
Does
I
it?
think that's. I think
Everyone's
so.
head weighs 10 pounds.
Like approximately, like give or take.
Dude, mine has to weigh at least 30 pounds because of my huge brain.
30 pounds? You got a dense head, dude. Jesus. Hey, and also for those who are wondering, I hope you're recognizing that this is a much more lighthearted video this time around than what we had last week. We had a little bit of, or 2 weeks ago, we had a little bit of like a burnout session last week, so we're coming in with a bit more levity this episode, just
Yeah,
because we all need it a little bit. Um,
yeah. We need a yeah,
turns out Brian's head rolling down the bowling alley lane is what we needed, which fine. I'd be a lot less stressed out that way.
yeah. Then
Uh,
pins won't.
yeah,
Pins
the
will be real
pins.
stressed.
They won't know what hit them. All right, so I'm going to share this tab here. So this is the 270 to win. So this is the 2026 House Election Interactive map here. We're going to kind of give this one a scroll through and view here and kind of talk about how the map looks, and right now, I got to be honest with you, nothing is really super surprising to me on this map as of right now. I mean, I don't know how closely you guys follow this map here, but
I'll be honest, not at all.
not at all. Okay.
Nope.
So
I'm seeing it for literally the first time.
literally well, so now here is the only thing that I don't know if this map currently has is the states with the redone districts. You know what I mean? Because obviously, Texas is redistricting. Sounds like California is redistricting.
I was gonna say
Redistricting.
California is too. Yeah.
Yep. Potentially New York, Missouri. Which, oh wow, Missouri doesn't need to redistrict. They've got an entire
What?
Republican.
Yeah. What would the point of them redistricting be? To get
Um,
that little. It looks like there's a little tiny blue
Bob to kick
speck
out
in
Bob
there.
Onder, whoever he is, Bob Onder. Or
Why do
no,
they? Why
sorry,
do?
Wesley Bell. Wesley Bell.
Why do
Kick
they
out
care so much
Missouri's
about
first.
Wesley?
Well, because he's a Democrat, and that's one more seat. So,
Hmm.
but yeah. So I think the the biggest thing we've got here is there are a few swing districts that I am not a betting man. Actually, that's a lie. I kind of am. But I would bet that there are a few swing districts out there that are going to swing towards the Democrats. Prior to today's episode, I viewed a lot of polls regarding Donald Trump's approval rating, and that has been steadily on the decline um, since he took office for the most part. I believe he took office and the vast majority of his approval was around the 52% mark. And now we're hovering around that 40 to 43% mark. So, a nice 8% drop in favorability, which is kind of on par to where Joe Biden was this time after his first year in office. So, obviously, we're not uh, well, actually, sorry. Joe Biden's 9 months in office, he had already dropped down to around the 43% mark as well. And he kind of hovered around there for quite some time. So realistically, what we're seeing with Donald Trump is very similar to what happened with Joe Biden. And that's when the Republicans took control of the House of Representatives in 2022, was during that first midterm cycle. So we could see very likely a bounce back to Democrats controlling the House. And I do want to kind of talk about the Senate while we're here as well. Um, it is not likely in the slightest that the Democrats reclaim the Senate. That is not a likely occurrence. However, there are um, realistically 5 seats that I think the Democrats can get on this map here. And I believe that Michigan is one of them. Maine is one of them. Regardless of what these colors show, this is my opinion. North Carolina is one, Georgia is one, and then Nebraska is
What's your
an
basis for
interesting.
this?
So this is based upon everything I've seen, based on polling, kind of political opinion on individuals who are running, who are being run against.
Okay.
Now Sherrod Brown is running in Ohio again, and
Yeah, I saw that.
if Ohio has buyer's remorse, then obviously that would tie up the Senate.
Do
This
you
map
think
right here.
Ohio has buyer's remorse?
No, I do not, which is why
Okay.
I'm still leaving it as leaning towards a Republican. I do not think that Sherrod Brown wins again just because of how far to the right Ohio has swung. However, I do think it's close. The only
Okay.
thing that I think is Sherrod Brown's saving grace is right now in special elections, Democrats have turned out in droves for special elections because Democrats obviously feel like they're under threat. Therefore, they are motivated to turn out for elections. So far, they have. If we get to the midterm cycle in 2026 and we have normal midterms and nothing funny happens, then Democrats are going to be motivated to turn out.
In
And
terms of something funny happening,
go ahead.
Do you mean like a war?
Uh, we're just gonna hope that nothing funny happens.
Okay.
But yeah, something to delay or prolong or sow doubt in the midterms. How about that?
Ah, there you go. All
Yeah.
right.
So, but yes, that is where I think realistically, I think this is how this map shows out. I think there's Susan Collins is obviously the Republican senator in Maine.
Mhm.
I think Maine is a swing enough state that the Democrat could say, "Hey, Susan Collins, she sided with Trump even though she says she wouldn't all this time." And then the Democrats or the Republicans are like, Susan Collins hasn't totally supported the president the entire time. So she's kind of losing both of those wars there. Like she's being the appeaser and not really pleasing either the Republicans or the Democrats. And I think the Republicans are more likely to see her as a traitor than the Democrats are to vote for her. You know what I mean? So that
That's wild.
Democratic candidate,
That's kind of wild to me, but
go ahead.
just it's wild in terms of that there's so much infighting with the Democratic Party instead of
That's the thing
trying
is,
to
well, yeah.
change it.
Well, that's the thing is because so somebody put it really
The
eloquently.
Republican Party is much more unified. Still, they have their own issues, but like it's not as many. I feel like.
Correct. I so somebody put it like this. I think it was Democrats are a coalition and Republicans are a tribe. I think is the way somebody put it. They put it more eloquently than that, but it's
I
just
get
like,
that.
Republicans have their guy right now. They have the man. Just like back in the day, Democrats had Obama. He was the guy. He was the man. Like
Hmm.
they could rally around one person. Democrats have 8 people that they're trying to rally around, and there's no consensus on who they actually want.
There's no like face.
There's no, yeah, I mean, because that's the thing is I saw right now. Okay, who is lead? I want you guys to tell me who is leading the presidential polling for the Democratic nominee in 2028. Who is the favorite to be the Democratic nominee as of today?
As of today, I have no
As
idea.
of today,
I'd have to go with Gavin Newsom.
I was gonna say Newsom, but
he's second. He's second by 1 point.
Is it
it's
Kamala
not
again?
P, is it?
It's Harris.
Harris,
It's
really?
it's Harris at
I could.
24 points.
She was not even on my list.
Yep, she and I think she's even said that she's not planning on running.
Yeah, she's writing her book.
Right. So but that just goes to show you that the Democrats just do not have anybody that they are latched onto right now who they believe is going to be the person to beat. I'm not going to say it because he can't
Yeah,
run.
don't say it.
Mm, mm. But to beat whomever is the Republican nominee in 2028. And if it's the guy whose last name starts with T and ends with Rump, I'm going to be real concerned for the state of the nation. But I'm
Do
already
you
there,
think? Do you
so
think
why not?
Obama runs again?
if if Trump runs again,
Yeah,
I mean, Obama's going to make the statement or the joke. So I mean, the thing is
yeah.
that for those watching at home, Donald Trump cannot run
No,
if there has not been
legally.
a change legally, if there's not been a change to that amendment, that constitutional amendment. I believe it's the 22nd Amendment. So therefore, it's not going to happen. I'm staring at the camera for some desperation here. It's not going to happen. uh God, I just again it grinds my gears. It flusters me. But um
So here's a question for you while we're
yeah, go for it.
on that topic.
Yeah.
If Mamdani wins the mayoral race in New York, does that
Hmm.
change who the Democrats might go after as their candidate in 2028? Or does it not matter?
Yes. It
Yeah,
matters
not matter
the
yet.
most. In my opinion, it matters the most.
That's
Immediately,
wild.
it matters
That's
the most.
wild. That it matters so much because it's a mayor.
Now, again, this is my opinion. I don't know if there's any statistical data behind this, but this is my opinion that absolutely it matters the most on who Democrats put out in 2028, depending on Mamdani's success. From everything I've seen, Mamdani is going to win the election. Mamdani is going to be the next mayor of New York City. Now, Mamdani is one of the first major socialists, and again, socialist isn't a bad term. You just need to understand what they're talking about. It's the same thing. It's just like being a nationalist isn't bad if you were just saying like, hey, I'm trying to support the overall interests of the country. It's when you start demonizing minority groups that it becomes a problem. Same thing with socialism. It's like it's not inherently bad unless you start seizing people's property in order to give it to the government. Like, again,
Yes,
you can make whatever
that's
bugaboo out of these terms as
fascism.
you want. Right. Both of them are fascism. Both of them are
Yeah,
trying to
but
assert
right.
state control like over people. Yeah, neither one are good. How about that? Anyways, before we
Correct.
get down that rabbit hole. Um Mamdani being one of the first openly socialist candidates, other than Bernie Sanders. I think Bernie Sanders is kind of a self-acclaimed socialist in his own right.
Oh yeah,
Um, he is
for
going to
sure.
be leading or running one of the largest cities on the planet, and then one of the most economically powerful cities on the planet. His face is going to be out there. Additionally, his name is Zoran Mamdani. He's not an Andrew. He's not a John Smith. He's not a Cuomo. He's not a Bob. He's not. His name is very minority forward, and that's important in this nation. It's sad to say, but it is. It's the same thing as why a black woman probably didn't win the presidency. It's probably the same reason why Hillary Clinton didn't win the presidency. There are people out there that respond negatively inherently, regardless of the
But
facts, but
but
just
what about
inherently
like
to hearing people's names like that without knowing
Barack
anything about them.
Barack Obama? He won.
He was the first black president, and the thing is that historically throughout history, the African American voting blocks have not come out to vote nearly as much. They were those lower propensity voters, and he was
Mhm.
able to motivate them to vote. Same thing as Donald Trump is getting those lower propensity white voters to come out and vote.
But
And there are
mm,
situations in the African American community where they do not support a woman president as much as they do support a male president.
I guess
That's just
I guess I
it just
just
happens.
assumed that those what do you call it, lower class Republican voters
Lower propensity.
propensity.
Mhm.
I guess I just thought they always voted.
No, actually, those people who have elected Donald Trump twice are lower propensity voters. They typically, before Donald Trump came into power, they did not vote with the same frequency that a lot of the voting blocks did. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep. Yep.
I just
But
had
getting
assumed they always voted.
Mm-mm. They were never
And
motivated to. They didn't feel like they had a candidate who could support what they wanted to accomplish, so they just stayed home. Which is the
I guess
reason
that
why.
makes I guess that makes sense to the ideology that these people have always been here. You just haven't heard from them, and now they have a platform
Right.
because of their
What?
leader.
And it's just like the people on the left and the farther left who didn't vote for Harris because they didn't think that she was an appropriate, you know, change to the Democrat Party that they wanted or they felt that they needed. So they stayed home. They didn't vote because they didn't feel like they had a representation for their voice. I think that was a
Hmm.
mistake, as we're all clearly seeing now. But hey, you can't go back in history. You can't go back in time and change shit as much as we
No,
would like to.
you can always look to the future.
Right.
But that's the
So
thing that if Democrats want to change anything, they have to
they have
get
to vote
something
as a
going
unit.
here.
They have to
Yeah.
vote as a unit. Yeah. Yeah. There's if Democrats want to win, there is no, well, I'm not really sure about this candidate. It's like, no, whoever is the person is the person. You can't sow any more doubt this time.
You double down.
You got to
Republicans have
double and
done
triple
it.
down this time. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Republicans have done it, three times now,
They're
and
still
and and,
doing it.
and it only messed up once, and it was still a close election. We
Yeah.
got to remember that 2020 was still close electoral wise. It wasn't, but it was still close. And the only reason that Donald Trump did not win in 2020 was because of COVID. If COVID never happens, Donald Trump is probably well, maybe not in office right now. Who knows at this point? um,
Do you
but
think if he would have won in 2020, things would have been way different? because I think we're seeing more of like the scorched earth from him against Democrats this time because he didn't win in 2020.
There is a lot more of a vindictive nature that Trump has this time around because I think he feels like he was targeted and slighted, which I mean he was, but for legal reasons. I mean,
Like,
he
yeah,
did
he
illegal
just
things.
lost.
Yeah, yeah, and
Right,
he just
yeah.
lost. Like, um, but yes, and I also think that Project 2025 wouldn't have happened nearly as quickly as it did. I think that
Okay.
the vast or the very rapid rollout of everything that is in Project 2025 would have still probably happened in his second term had he won in 2020, but it would have been a much slower, steady process that would have gotten us to that point instead of here I am taking office. All right, let's, like
Yeah,
let's
Right,
it's
start
let's knock
doing
out
all
a
this stuff.
thousand
for
executive orders.
with
Yeah.
Yeah,
with Biden winning, it was essentially 4 more years of ammunition for them to go in with to his second term. So
correct.
Yeah,
Yes,
right.
yeah.
Right.
It gave them a lot of direct fuel that they were able to harness and pour on the fire.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens in 2028. I hope that we don't have that issue. But the fact that there's already Trump 2028 merch out there, I mean, what are we? Maybe it'll be Don Jr. running.
That's
Maybe
what
maybe.
happens in the capitalist society though.
Uh, okay.
I bet
Anyways.
I would I would be I would be remiss if I didn't say that I think that there are some Democrats selling the Trump 2028 merch. I know it's not 0%.
Probably not. People want to make a buck.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I
Yeah.
bet it's not 0%.
But I mean, it's if they're selling it, it's kind of a good reverse psychology thing of like, hey, I'm going to sell this stuff to make sure people realize that he's trying to run in 2028, which he's already kind of hinted that he is. So, I mean,
He just
they're
hasn't
not
flat out said it. He's just kind of
right,
like, "Oh yeah, we'll see."
right. I think okay. This is another Brian's bold claims.
I like
I
this
think
segment.
yeah.
Brian's bold claims.
If Republicans, if there's no funny business with the midterms, right? No funny business with the midterms, nothing gets slowed down, no, the election isn't called into question, whatnot. And Republicans keep the House, he tries to find a way to run in 2028. If they lose, he is either going to get really desperate or he's going to accept the fact that he's going to have to nominate one of his sons in his stead
Hmm.
or JD Vance directly.
Oh, that's
That's
interesting.
Brian's bold claim.
Do you think there's a world where he nominates a son? Wait, which son is eligible to run? Oh,
Both of them.
both
I
of
think they're
them.
both of
Yeah.
age. Yeah, I think they're both
Okay.
of age. Don Jr. and Eric, I believe, are both of age. But it would
Yeah,
definitely be Don Jr.
I
that
know
would get
Eric
it.
is.
Mhm. But
Yeah.
I know we kind of got sidetracked on Mom Donnie. I want to go back to that because I think that's really important to focus on here. So Mom Donnie is obviously, like I said, the prohibitive favorite to win the New York mayoral race, and it is so important as to whether or not he is successful or he is unsuccessful as the mayor. If he is successful, I've told multiple people this. I've told multiple people this. If he is successful in his first year as mayor, you are going to see one of the sharpest swings to socialism. Say that 10 times fast. Uh, in this country that we've seen in decades. If he is unsuccessful, you are going to get the most milk toast Democrat you can possibly imagine in 2028. Basically, think of it this way: if Mamdani is successful, you will see somebody similar or AOC running for president in 2028. If you get a bad Mamdani term with an unsuccessful Mamdani term, you will get, no offense to him, but Andy Bashir, right? Josh Shapiro. Like you're gonna get one of those two guys. That's just how it's gonna shape up. You are
If he
not
doesn't win.
if he does not have no if he wins and is unsuccessful. I'm assuming that he's going to win. Like if
Okay.
he
Okay.
loses, something cataclysmic happened. Like
Okay.
I don't even know what could happen to allow him to lose at this point.
Okay.
Because I think he's like polling like almost 19% above any other
Oh, okay.
candidate for this. So I
All
mean,
right.
like I said, unless something crazy happens, which it could,
It could.
He's not going to lose. But
Okay.
yeah, if he's unsuccessful, though, you're going to see a very centrist, moderate Democrat. If he wins and is successful, and this is getting like national attention, New York City seeing success that it hasn't seen since whatever, insert decades ago data set
Mhm.
here. Then you're going to see the Democrats be like, "See, this style of Democrat politics works.
Oh,
This works.
I
This
see what you're
works," and they're
saying.
gonna hammer
They're
the
gonna
shit
push
out
the
of that.
more.
Yeah,
They're gonna
and
push
and
them more left.
correct. And if they have a successful ad campaign on his success, that's debatable. Um, then again, you'll see it kind of
Do you
sweep the nation type deal.
do you think do you think this style of his style of politics will work?
Hmm. I think it will work with the younger generation. I don't think he's going to have the sway to pull the older generation. Um, Now
Right.
that's just
I
kind of
That's kind
my
of what I was thinking too. I
yeah.
mean, I don't
Now,
think
oh, good.
I don't
Sorry.
think I don't think there's a lot of the older generation, at least from what I've just seen, that is like super left.
Right. I wouldn't say it's the majority. I mean, I would say actually let me see if I can find back
I'm
here.
talking about like super left. I'm sure there was a bunch of like left-leaning moderates out there, but I'm talking about like super left, far left.
Let's see. So navigator research. Let's see what we got here. Yeah. Okay. So let me share this screen real quick. Let me know when you can see it.
You're good.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So right here, Harris lost the most ground relative to Biden among the youngest men, followed by the youngest women. So there you go. Harris lost the youth vote. She just did. Like that's why Donald Trump won. The youth did not come out and support Kamala Harris. You can see right here that look at that. -5% for women. And look at men. I mean, absolutely crushed by
Yeah.
Donald Trump in the young men category. If Democrats are going to win, they have to win back the youth. And
Yeah, I
Zoran
agree.
Mamdani's politics and the way he goes about running his campaign appeals to the youth. Is it going to be successful on the national scale?
O-
I don't know. I mean, I've seen
Okay, but
some
like
Democrats try and steal his style or borrow his style, I guess, but
what about so but are I'm not going to say the youth are brainwashed to
mhm,
vote
go ahead.
right, but because they're not. But
Right.
like I don't know. Brainwash is not the right word.
Mhm.
Do you think that the youth have gone fully in on the Republican side and has seen like Trump and his ways and are like, yes, that's it.
No.
Do you think there's any coming back from it?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I'm a case in point. I'll be quite honest with you. So in 2016, I did not vote for Hillary Clinton. When that
Yeah.
was my first presidential election, I voted for Gary
Mhm.
Johnson. I did see that Trump was kind of this crazy guy who just kind of said whatever he wanted to, and I didn't think he fit the mold to be president. I didn't trust Hillary Clinton's foreign policy decisions,
Yeah.
and I didn't think that she'd necessarily be a strong leader. And I thought that she was just kind of getting propped up into this appointment based upon her husband's qualifications, and that was, that's how I thought at the time.
Hmm.
And now I regret not voting for her in 2016. I voted for Biden in 2020 and I voted for Harris in 24. So, I'm an example of those youth voters who either A didn't know any better or B were disaffectioned,
I was
can switch their
definitely
votes.
a youth voter that didn't know any better. Not I didn't vote for Trump, but
But it's the same thing. Yeah, you just
I
you,
should
you know,
know.
when it's your first presidential election, sometimes you're coming into this stuff just not totally tuned in. Like,
I
yeah,
knew virtually nothing about politics.
right. Yeah, and I mean, and that's the thing is that's called not being a chronically online 18-year-old. Good job, Jake. Neither of us were at the time. So
I had basically my high school government classes and whatever classes I was taking in college at that point
Yeah, and I mean, I grew up in a
to go off
small
of it.
rural town in Southwest
Yeah,
Ohio. I wasn't exactly groomed to
I mean,
be a Republican hating liberal, you know?
yeah, I mean, I wasn't either. I,
Right.
I
I mean, yeah,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure Jake, you came from a pretty conservative household. Am I?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And Zachary, we know the household that we grew up the majority of our lives in. So, you know, we
I,
didn't
I
exactly
didn't
stay true to the
realize
mold.
I didn't realize it till much later in my life that I came from a conservative household.
I didn't either. You know, that's the
I
one
thought it was
thing.
normal. I thought that, and to people that is normal.
Right, and that's the thing is that it never and now that's the thing is it never used to be that way, you know, typically, you never knew family supported in politics, they just kinda said things here and there. Now
Yeah, and
it's
then
very clear how a lot of your
yeah,
family members feel politically, you know? It's
yeah.
very
It's
much
like
out there in the
well,
public ether.
well, I remember hearing stuff. I remember hearing stuff like growing up, especially like during the Obama election. I was in what, sixth grade,
Mhm.
and I just remember hearing some stuff about Obama, and I thought Obama was the worst. Just because
He's a
from my
lizard.
parent. Yeah, oh,
He's a
yeah, he's a
lizard.
lizard. Yeah, shit like
Memes of the
that.
time, man.
Not necessarily from my like. Well, yeah, it was mostly from my family, but
Mhm.
I remember hearing that stuff, and I'm like, well, I thought he was the worst guy ever, and then you look
Right,
back
and
and you think, oh, he's not that bad.
right. Well, let me be clear. I'm not. The more I've learned about Obama, I'm not a huge fan of him. He seems
Oh,
to be
I
kind of
mean,
an
they're
egotistical guy. But not,
they
yeah,
all
like you're
suck.
about to say, they all suck, and they all have their
Yeah,
quirks
I'm
about
not
him. It's
saying
just like,
Obama's the stand-up guy, but
yeah,
they all suck.
he does stand up though. Never mind. I'm not gonna
He's
make a
kind of
bad joke
funny.
there. Yeah, he is kind of funny. The stutter serves him well.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, that's the thing is that I think there is room for Democrats to get some of those young voters back because
Well, I
I
think they
do
need to
think.
stop being cringe too.
But that's the thing is that the cringe works, man, for the Republicans. So the Democrats are going to try and be cringe. That's exactly what you're seeing
Yeah,
with Gavin Newsom.
well, okay, his might work.
His might work, right? You're right. You're right. The Democrats have a messaging issue. They have for a decade now.
Yeah,
They
that's
do.
yeah,
They
they
just
really
have.
do.
And I mean, you know, last time I checked, they haven't called me up to ask for any political strategy, which I would, you know, be more than happy to give them. But they don't, you know, I don't think they have my cell phone number. I
They
think
need
that's
a
what it
good
is.
social media person in there.
You want me to just blast
Well,
that on the screen real quick?
yeah, my cell phone. Yeah,
Yeah.
dox me, daddy. um, but no, right, but you're right.
If
They
they
do
want,
need a
they
well,
need a
and that's
better yeah. I
but
mean, if
that's the thing.
social
Like
media
with
is going to
Mom
swing
Donnie,
elections, yeah,
and that's the
yeah,
thing
I
is
see what
Mom
you're
Donnie
saying.
has used it effectively to garner the support that he has. I mean, and the thing is that he has done it in a way like when he rolls out his videos now, like he's reached the campaign threshold. Like he can't raise any more money, and he's like one of the few politicians who puts a video out there. And he's just like, I don't need your money, I just need your time. Like you know,
Oh
that's
yeah, I
yeah,
mean that's really how it should be. But like
right. That's how it. Yeah, just campaign for me. Like help
money,
spread the message.
yeah, to win you need money though.
Correct. You didn't used to have need as much money as Thanks Citizens United. Um,
Yeah, you need a
but
shit ton to win an election nowadays.
yeah, but I mean,
Which sucks, man, because you just want to go listen to the person speak about how they can fix the country.
right, and I think so. We live so this is another problem too, and I think this is like a societal problem that is going to influence elections. Oh, what?
Is the phone number?
Oh, 8675309.
No, there's a phone number on the screen.
Uh-oh. 555-867. Hey, yeah, there it is.
5309.
8675309.
That's funny.
uh but no, so the thing is that the the society we live in has changed though. And what
Oh
I
yeah.
mean by that is that we expect instant gratification, instant results, instant change. And
Well, that's because
whether
of
it's
being online.
correct, but that's the thing, is that that's not going away anytime soon.
Oh no,
So
it's
you're
gone for
seeing,
me.
well, you're an anomaly, Jake.
I am. It's awesome.
Jake's like, mental health never been better.
It's
Brian's
I
mental
don't.
health all time low.
I actually have been feeling a lot better mentally because
That's
of
good.
it. Yeah,
Oh, absolutely. I can imagine why. Imagine just being that seagull back there. You could have all the all
the
the
whole,
happiness in the world.
oh yeah, except
Yeah.
when the fish die.
Well, that's what the mice are for. Anyways, um, so but yeah, society is shifting to this instant gratification model, and in politics and running a nation, that is just not feasible. It's just not. I mean, especially with ideally a three-tiered branch of government with technically four prongs to it. You've got the executive, president. You've got the legislative, Congress, and the Senate, and then the judicial, being the Supreme Court and all the federal courts and everything that is underneath them.
Yeah,
It takes time for these policy changes to actually get implemented or get voted on or take effect. And then after you implement them, it takes years to get reliable data to see if they're even working. So, regardless on who's going to be the next president, whether it's a Democrat or Republican, they're still going to be held to this immense standard of doing some changes immediately. The thing is with Donald Trump is that while a lot of them at this point seem to be illegal based upon the ways that they are getting struck down by federal courts, he is changing things rapidly, and that has to be brought into the equation. Whether or not you support what he is doing or not, some of the people who do support what he is doing, the actions and the stuff that he is doing, they're seeing the fact that those changes are being made immediately. Those changes are being made rapidly and quickly, and they are being broadcast to the world that they are being done so quickly.
hmm.
And for them, they're going to be like, this is the change I wanted. This is the change we're getting. I'm going to support this man until the day I die because he is finally doing the things that I want politicians to do. Where in most normal governments,
But
you're
they also
not going to
lie.
get that change. But that's what I'm saying though, is that they can lie, they can
Hmm.
do things illegally, but they are still changing things rapidly and making it seem at the very least that they are getting stuff done. Yes, because it is a blatant lie that there have been zero people that have illegally crossed into the country since Donald Trump took
Right,
office.
that's what I'm
That
saying.
is a lie. And if you
But
believe that, I
people
have a
believe
bridge
that.
to sell you in the Sahara Desert. So, like,
Bridge over troubled sand.
yeah. But that
But people
matters
believe
though.
that.
But yeah, but that's what I'm saying is it matters. It
They
matters though
yeah.
because the perception is that something is happening, something's getting done, and it's getting done quickly. And in this instant
Quick, I don't
gratification world we live in, that matters a lot.
I agree with you that it's that you see it.
Okay.
Maybe it's just me thinking that I don't know. Maybe it's just me thinking that it's not happening because I can see through. I like to think I can see through some of the BS,
Well, so think of it this way, Jake.
but
What I'm talking about is like um all of the ICE detentions. Like that's
yeah.
happening. Alligator
Oh
Alcatraz,
yeah,
that's happening.
that's happening.
And
Yeah,
some people want that.
yeah,
Some
I know
people want
that.
that a lot. And that's what I'm saying. It's like stuff like that where for years and years it's like, oh, we can't do anything about this. Oh, we can't do anything. Oh, we can't do anything. Donald Trump just goes in and goes, sledgehammer. Sure we can. And they love that. Like that's like whether it's legal or not, he's doing it. You know what I
Well,
mean?
yeah,
That's what I'm talking
yeah,
about.
but then it's a problem. Then it's a problem with accountability.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying that there's not a problem with it. I'm just saying that he's getting away with it, and it's going to work on some people because they're just seeing immediate
They're
gratification
seeing
for
that
what they want.
they're seeing their. I don't know if it's immediate though, because they've wanted it for years, and now they have a president that's giving it to them,
Well,
who
I'm saying like the
without a
fact that
care in the
he's
world.
but that's what I'm saying, like in the frame of immediate. It's like, yeah, they've wanted it for years, but Donald Trump took office and has done it in the course of 9 months, where they've been asking for it for even Republican presidents. Like even in Donald Trump's first term, he could have done this in 4 years and he chose not to.
Right.
So
But I
now,
wouldn't call
now
that
he's
immediate
saying to hell with it all.
gratification.
I would say politically that's pretty immediate. If you can get something like that done before the midterms, even I'd say that's pretty immediate in a
Yeah, but
political.
he's forcing he's doing it illegally, and if there was any recourse to it, then he wouldn't be able to do
Correct.
it.
But yeah, and now I totally agree. I totally agree. The only difference is that those people don't care how it gets done. They just want it done.
Okay, I can agree with that.
Yeah. Cuz you're
Yeah.
absolutely right. He's not doing it in or run of the mill matter. Like correct. If he was I would be extremely impressed, and I think a lot more people would be impressed if he was getting this done without the courts, telling you like, "Hey, what he's doing is illegal right now."
I mean,
Like
he
if he was
basically
able.
is though.
Right. He is.
They're
Well, they're
telling him.
slowing
They're
some things.
telling him. Yeah, they're slowing
Yeah.
some things down, but he's still like, "Oh, I don't care."
Right.
And like,
But what?
if that's all it takes, like,
Yeah. Well, what do you do, right?
why did it take this long for a president to do this?
Because there was always the veil of decorum. There was always the veil of Robert's law, Robert's rule, right? You know. You know.
So a false sense of what did they call it? Illusion of security, illusion of control.
Right. Yeah. Or like maybe like an illusion, like, illusion of actual like processes. There's like,
Okay.
it's like, oh, we have this, standard order of operations that the Congress gets together, they debate a bill, they write the bill,
So
they sign the bill.
did they just think that this would never happen? So that now that it has happened, that they just don't know what to do,
Yeah,
or are like too afraid to do anything?
probably the first one more than the afraid thing. They're still afraid, don't get me wrong, but I guarantee you like a lot of stalwart like Republicans that are not for Trump and all the Democrats are just like, we didn't think this would happen. Zachary, are you being swatted right now? You're muted.
You're muted.
I was
Oh,
about to
my
say,
bad.
do you need to
Sorry.
drop your?
No. No Elvie Marte hit a home run. They're not
Oh,
dead
okay.
yet. Not dead yet,
I
kids.
was like, if you can drop your hands to unmute, blink once.
Inside the park home run
Okay.
of all things, by the way.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
oh my God. At Great American? Yeesh. Okay then. But yeah, like Democrats and stalwart Republicans alike were just like, we didn't think that you could just break the rules like this. I mean, sure, presidents in the past have done executive orders. They've done things that have kind of overstepped their presidential authority.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't think people quite thought that it would be like this. Like, don't get me wrong, FDR like
He were.
executed a lot of executive orders when he was president. He
Oh yeah.
also interned the Japanese. But the thing is that he still kind of
Yeah.
did it with like that veil of decorum and process and presidential like tie tightened
Legal.
up and
Yeah. The
speak in front of the audience, have
delegacy.
a nice crisp clear but
Yeah.
now it's just like, I'm gonna do it, it's gonna happen, and if you say no, you're a communist. Like that's what
It
it's turned
works
into
though.
now.
It really
But
works.
correct, it does work, it absolutely does work, and that's the thing is that if and when Donald Trump leaves office, like how it happens, if he dies, if he gets voted out, like, and I'm saying dying of old age for everyone who's about to freak out, when he dies of old age, if he dies of old age when he's in office, or if he gets voted out, does this type of politics continue? Does it die with Trump, or
So,
have we had a
okay,
significant enough change that
I'm
this is
gonna
how it's going to be in the future?
I'm gonna go on the thing. All right, I think
Going
there's
to go
gonna
on
be
the
a lot
record?
of. I'm gonna go on the record and say that it dies with Trump, because I don't know who the hell is more. What is the word? More in your face than Trump is.
That's a good way of putting it. Yeah, yeah. Because like I feel like that's a great way to put it. That's not like a super negative connotation. Because all the things I was thinking of, is like, no, that's like that's not the right way to put it. But yeah, in your
Yeah.
face, like just direct in your
Chris,
face, like
he
my way
tweets
or the
all the
highway.
time. He tweets more than
Well,
a lot of Americans do.
that's true. And he also tweets DMs to the world that he meant for Bondi, but we're not going to talk about
So does his whole cabinet. They
that.
they
Right.
send information to the Atlantic.
Yeah,
The the
they sent,
s-
yeah,
the
there you
signal
go.
files or whatever they're called.
Yeah. Oh, by the
Yeah.
way, I think we're gonna go play in the sandbox, if you know what I mean, in the near future. So
Huh?
just want to throw that out there. The United States government's gonna go play in the sandbox, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
see what you're saying.
That's what I think is gonna happen. So but
I
that's a
could see
side
it.
note for another episode.
I could see
But
it.
yeah, okay. So you think that it's gonna die with Trump, and
Just
I
because
think
I don't know who else is going to pick up the mantle and be as effective.
that's the key point right there, and be as effective. I think that there's going to be a lot of people who try to be like Trump and fail to be like Trump.
Vance
And
is not Trump.
Vance is not Trump. He's way too hoity-toity for that. He's trying, he's trying with all of these shootings out there to try
Cole
and be
said
as
Cole
crass
said
as Trump.
Cole said MTG is pretty in your face. True.
True, but she's getting ostracized by the
Her own
MAGA
party.
Republicans
Yeah.
for what's happening with the Epstein files, which I'm going to talk about that for like 2 seconds right now.
Okay.
With the latest special election, which kind of goes into this 2026 election that we are talking about here, there are now enough votes to sign the discharge petition to have the Epstein files released. Between the 4 Republicans and the 4 Democrats, there are now 218 votes to get the Epstein files released through
Do
this
you want
discharge petition.
my opinion on releasing the Epstein files? I truly think if they're released, nothing happens.
Yeah, you're probably
I
right.
don't think there's anything that happens. I really don't.
Now, the thing is if the Epstein files are released truthfully
Mhm.
and nothing happens, the amount of ammunition that the Democrats are
Mm.
just going to be able to blast on the airwaves with quite literal cited documents from that. Anybody who's on the fence and those Republicans who are still caring about the Epstein files, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, like Thomas Massey, like Lauren Boebert, like Nancy Mace,
And in
all of
my
those types
opinion,
of Republicans.
you should, Democrat or Republican, you should care about the Epstein files.
Correct. Absolutely. Anybody on that list should be rotting in prison. And
I
I
agree.
hope that that's
Democrat or Republican, doesn't
correct.
matter.
And
Middle
even
of the ground,
go get
actors,
Prince Andrew.
celebrities.
Go get Prince Andrew
Go
out
get
there.
Tom
Go.
Hanks.
Oh yeah, Tom Hanks. I forgot that he was supposedly on it too.
Yeah, Obama's supposedly on it. Biden's supposedly on it.
I
Clinton.
think I think Bill Clinton's on it more than
Oh,
Biden. But
100%. I agree.
yeah, Bill was out there smoking a cigar with a saxophone. But
Yeah.
anyways, but yeah, I think that nothing changes immediately if they get released, but if they get released in their entirety, Democrats crush in the midterms and Democrats win in 2028. If they truly get released and are as damning as people say they are, I think especially if his name is on it, you know who I'm talking about, then it's damning. Zachary, I
What
see you
if
disagree with
no,
me.
no, 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 no. I don't
Oh,
disagree
okay.
with you. What if they come out in because there's two different ways I see it going. They come out and
He's not on
there's like still like nothing definitive per se. Like whatever these
Okay.
files are, they don't necessarily prove anything. They're basically names written on a piece of paper. Something like that.
Okay.
So there's that.
Okay.
Or they come out, they make no sense, and we're back to what is this? Like
Right.
Oh, so
You're
like
calling
trying to
these the
sift
files,
through 'em.
but nothing in here makes sense. Because I could see
Right.
that
I
too. They're
think
still going to try to protect themselves.
Well, what about the birthday card that was supposedly leaked and no one's talking about it?
that he said didn't even exist.
Mhm.
That he
Right,
said
yeah.
did not exist. Not only was no, it's out there. It's not real. It was forged. Like, this is something that I knew about but wanted to keep under wraps from 2006. No, he didn't say that. He said it did not exist. And yet
Also,
there it
uh,
is.
Yeah, that's why I think nothing's gonna happen.
Well, it was being discussed quite heavily, and then a certain individual was shot.
did
So that kind of distracted from that.
did you see
Yeah.
there's a gold statue outside? I want to say it was the National
I
Mall.
did see
I
that.
did see
And it is
that,
a
yeah.
legit statue
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
That'd be a
It's
legit statue. I mean, somebody spent some money on that shit.
uh-huh. That's
Yeah.
real funny.
That's like that's like more impressive than the statues you see at baseball stadiums.
Do
I
you
was
know if
like,
it's
Yeah.
been
God, somebody.
Yeah.
you know if it's
Yeah,
been taken down yet?
I don't think so.
From what I saw, it
Interesting.
was going to be there for 5 days unless something
Where's it gonna
happens
go
to it.
after
But
that? Is it gonna go on
Yeah,
tour?
I don't know. They were hoping it goes
that would be
into the
interesting.
like a museum or something, but I don't actually know.
That
Is it
would be
gonna go into like
interesting.
yeah? But yeah,
Dem should just carry it around with them,
right.
take it to
But
their speeches and shit.
but I think that'll be the next big saga in that though is what happens when this discharge petition actually gets 218 votes. Because if nothing comes of it after that 218 vote happens, Marjorie Taylor Greene's going to flip her lid. Thomas Massey's going to flip his lid. And I think they are still like if you held a gun to either of their head, they would both still vote for Trump. You know what I mean? But I think if they
Even
get stalwarted on this, they're done. They're done with voting for MAGA, which is crazy. They may
so
not
you
side with the Democrats, but they might abstain.
or they'll back another candidate.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Which that's also scary because
Yeah.
yeah. But
But
hey,
but
but it's still
but there
admirable that they're trying to get these files released. I
yeah,
applaud
I
them
mean
to
it's the
death
right
for
thing.
that.
It's the
It's
right
the
thing
right
to do.
thing to do. Correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And the fact that there's only 4 Republicans who are willing to do the right thing is crazy to me. Is crazy.
Well
Just sign the damn petition.
honestly, that's where I think the fear comes in. I think if I think I think who Trump is as a person from what we've seen, I think he would he's already against Democrats, but I think anyone's against him, he'll turn on you.
Correct.
And I
Now
think
that's the
that's where the
thing.
fear comes into it because he could dig up stuff about anybody
Right.
or falsify it and just be like this
Or
is what's
yeah,
happening
or
and
just
people will
say,
believe it.
you're an enemy of the state, you're a traitor, you're no insert tacky nickname here.
Yeah, and then
Um
people will eat it up.
right. Now, here's the thing. This is my hope that if if this discharge petition gets signed and he's in the files, he's in it. Like it is clear as day, plain as day, can't dispute it. I hope this is not going to be the case, but I hope that that will be enough like unquestionable information that they at least get 25 Republicans to go, yeah, we can't support this anymore. 25. Not saying
Yeah.
the 200 or not saying 150, 25. If you get 25 Republicans to defect, it's over. Donald Trump's reign in this nation is over. That's my hope. That if he's in it, that's the case. If there's nothing damning in it and he's not in the files and they haven't been redacted, they haven't been edited, he's not in it, okay, put it to rest. It's
But,
done. He's not in the
r-
files.
right, but even if they come out and say that he's in the files, he'll just be like, "Ah, it's fake news."
But it's the difference will be if the Republican congressmen and women stop supporting him. If they finally risk their careers and risk their futures as politicians, the public will notice that, regardless of what Donald Trump says.
Yeah, but why?
Actions always speak louder than words.
Yeah,
Always.
but then it's like, do you support? Do
The
you cry with your buckets of money, or do you because you're a shitty person with your buckets of money, or do you
You're right. Then that's
or do you
why
take the
it's
moral high ground and lose your career?
that's that's a great point, Jake, and that's why I'm hoping for just 25. I'm not saying the majority. I'm not saying a vast swath of them. Just 25. And again, that is if he is undoubtedly in the files. Like if his name is in there in big bold letters like Donald Trump, and it's just him, excuse my graphic language, having sex with a minor, and there's a freaking picture of him in there, and you still only get 25 Republicans, that's more than I would expect to get. But that's something. You know what I
That's
mean?
fair. Yeah.
But that's the
No,
only
yeah.
way I'm saying they're even getting 25. Is there's that type of evidence in there. That's the only way that's happening. If
Yeah.
there's any ambiguity, it's not happening. Now, will Marjorie Taylor Greene, Thomas Massey, and the lot keep going and trying to get more? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe this is their end of the road here. But that is the only way that this reign of his comes to an end, is if there is just so much damning evidence in there and Republican congressmen and women actually vote to do something. If there's damning evidence in there and they do nothing, there's nothing you can do. There's just nothing you can do. It relies solely on the American public then at that point to make that determination. And they haven't seemed to be swayed yet. So that's why I'm saying the actual actions of those congressmen and women going against him would speak more than
Well,
the
they just
evidence itself.
that matters more than yeah. I was gonna say that matters more to most people.
Than the
Is
evidence.
action,
Yeah.
yeah, than the
Yep. That's what
evidence.
I'm
Yeah.
saying. Action always speaks louder than words.
hmm
Always.
You
Oh,
still need the evidence to base your
to
actions
force
off
the
of.
action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, you can have all the evidence in the world, but if you don't do anything on it, then
Right. Well,
yeah.
unless you're Trump though, because he does a lot of things without
But that's the thing, is
statistics.
that they're all acceptable losses type deal. Like, Republicans can be like, well, that's
That's a
fine.
good point. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, it
this is an
works.
acceptable, yeah. A little bit of freedom here for future success there. For them, that's fine because they're not going to be the ones impacted by it. But I feel like a lot of the Republicans, or I won't even say a lot. I feel like some of the Republicans in office would draw the line at pedophilia. Maybe, don't know. So obviously, like I said,
I don't think
all
a lot of Dems.
214.
I don't think a lot of Dems would either.
Well, but that's the thing, is like that's what blows my mind, is that all 214 Democrats have signed this legislation to get this stuff released,
Yeah.
and yet only 4 Republicans have. Four, four, and they
But is
have the
that?
majority in Congress.
But yeah. But is that the fear, Brian?
Is it at some point? At some point, nut up or shut up. Like, are you
No,
really
I
just gonna be
agree.
a coward? Like, I don't. I guess that's the thing. Is like I'm not in a position where my job is like reliant on people voting on me, but
Yeah.
I can get fired tomorrow. You have more job security as a sitting congressman or woman than 90% of people do in the United States.
Yeah,
You're
that's true.
elected
That's
for
crazy.
2 years. For
Yeah,
2 years.
it's
If you
kind of
make a
crazy to think
stand
about it.
on something, you can afford to make a stand. And guess what? If you know you're going to get voted out, start applying to jobs.
But true. Yeah, and it's not like you would have a difficult time unless you're
Unless
on
you
the
get caught
list.
doing something illegal.
Right, you're on the you're in the Epstein files.
Right.
But
But
even
like
then, like you're
former
80 something,
congressman, former
you're
woman, like,
70 years old. What are you gonna do anyway?
well, even the younger
Just
ones,
cry
even
with your
the
bag
younger
of
ones.
money? Yeah,
Right, yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, it's just like it just amazes me how little or thin of a spine Republican and Democratic congressmen and women have in the Senate and in the House. Again, you have more job security than 90% of Americans out there, and you are afraid to do your job.
I don't.
The,
Yeah,
like, oh, it grinds my gears. It grinds it rustles my jimmies.
but but I wonder what information they would leak that is worse than.
That's what I'm saying,
It's
Jake.
got to
The
be a
only
reputational thing. It's got to be like your reputation is at stake, not just your job, but your livelihood.
So think of it this way, Jake.
Yeah.
Yes, it is partially the reputation of going against the president because these people who would be going against the president have to return to a district where the president is loved.
Mhm.
Therefore, it's like you are going to be kind of a lemming in your district. You're going to be kind of the weird guy out there who didn't support Donald Trump, and everybody will know that you didn't support Donald Trump. And I get it. These politicians get death threats. These politicians get death threats from constituents who support them and don't support them. Stuff like that. Like I'm sure if those
You
25
say that
Republicans, well, no,
you
but let me
s
let me let me
Yeah,
finish here.
okay, sorry,
So
sorry.
no, all good. So like these 25 Republicans are obviously going to have people who did support them who are no longer going to support them if they come out and say that Donald Trump needs to be removed from office because he's in the Epstein files. Those people could send them death threats because they take a stand. But I'm sorry, that is your job as a congressman or congresswoman. You chose to run for this office. Is it absolutely abhorrent that these people are sending you death threats? Yes. Should it ever happen? No. Is that part of the damn job? Yeah. Get used to it. If you don't want to get used to that fact, don't run for office. It should never happen, but it's going to in this political climate that we're in. So if
Well,
you
especially with
can't
more
handle that,
social media too, they're
yes,
gonna get more and more death threats. People have been
correct.
getting death threats since the beginning of the internet.
Since the beginning of time.
Well, yeah, I
Last time,
meant
right.
more so since the beginning of the internet.
Right, it's
It's more
become more
frequent.
prevalent,
Yeah,
but just
yeah.
ask Julius Caesar if he got a death threat
Oh,
with the
yeah,
oof.
yeah,
I think he got a death threat directly to his face before he got stabbed in the back.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Literally
But
stabbed in the back.
gosh, sorry. That there was my rant of the day, man. It's just
That's alright.
if you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen, my brother.
Yeah, right.
Like do
No,
your damn job.
we looked at the midterms and then we went into Epstein,
Yeah,
and
it always
now we're out of time.
now we're out of time. Zachary, you know what time it is?
I'm gonna pass unless you want to hear a small child crying.
Oh no. Can the small child create a hurricane?
Yes.
In the house.
Oh, in the house, yes. Well, I'll talk about it real quick. Basically, just quick development here that we have got. Let's see. That's not what I meant to do. There we go. We're getting active here in the Atlantic. We've got disturbance coming through here. Got Humberto out
Did
here.
you
Let's see what
share your
Humberto's
tab?
planning to do. Oh. Well, I'm glad that everyone can see that then. There we go. How are we seeing it?
What were
We're
you
good.
say? What did you look?
Okay. So here is Humberto. This is one of the hurricanes that's going to be out and probably stay out in the Atlantic here. As you can see, it's heading probably towards the Bermuda area, but we got some time. It's a tropical storm currently. And then we've also got this disturbance right here that's probably going to form out near the Bahamas. So we could have a double barrel hurricane setup where there's two fairly large hurricanes right next to each other in the Atlantic Ocean basin. And Gabrielle's just out here vibing. So gonna hit the what are those? The Azores Islands off the west coast is Portugal, and then it looks like it's gonna hit Portugal as a tropical storm or a tropical depression.
Azores?
Is that what they're called? The Azores?
I thought it was Azores.
Yeah, it might be the Azores. Oh, hey, it's right there. Azores. Yep. Yep. But yeah, so there you go. The hurricanes are coming, so be interesting to see how those shape up in the next few weeks. Hopefully, they stay off the coast of the United States. We've managed to stay pretty unscathed this year for hurricane season, so fingers crossed that we can keep it that way. Because it's not, it's never a good time when any place in the United States gets hit by a hurricane. It's cool to watch from a meteorological perspective, but obviously, hurricanes cause a ton of damage and destruction. So we're gonna keep an eye on
Also,
that.
also for my baseball fans, Guardians are beating the Tigers 3-1 right now.
Oh my God!
You know, the Reds might suck, but at least we're not the Tigers.
At least we're not the
True.
Tigers. That is great.
Hey, the Guardians are good. They're
But
they're gonna be
listen,
first in their
we're not
Division.
questioning the Guardians. We're just questioning the absolute
How
collapse
do
of the
you blow a
Tigers.
15 and
the
a half
Tigers,
game
yeah.
lead
Right. I mean, that's
in the
worse than what the
division? That's
Mets did, and
wild.
the Mets blew it too.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah, theirs wasn't even the wild card either. It was the division. That'd be like if the Reds came back and beat the Brewers this year. That just is nuts. Speaking of which, the Mets are losing. So if the Reds lose again today, like
Which
they're probably going to.
we probably will, because the offense is nowhere to be found. Please, Mets, save us. Keep sucking. So
Keeps
it's
like,
gonna come down
like
to
if-
having to sweep the Brewers, and fat chance the Reds do that.
Actually, like I said, I made my bold claim yesterday before we end this episode here. The Diamondbacks are making the playoffs. The Reds and the Mets are just gonna absolutely toilet bowl themselves, and the Diamondbacks will be like, "Oh,
Oh,
hey,
we're here.
guys. Yeah, we're here. We
The
made it.
definition
What
of
happened?"
sneak on in.
Right.
Good.
The problem is that they're not even trying to sneak. They just kind of walked in and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, there's two dead people on the
Yeah.
floor here. What happened?"
Don't mind us. We're just gonna
Funny.
squeeze in here.
Yeah, no, yeah. Oh, I'm just gonna squeeze right past you here. All right. Well, with that cheesy Midwestern joke, we will go ahead and wrap up this episode for the night. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, a little bit more of a lighthearted episode, a little bit more of a change of pace. You still got one Brian rant though, so we're still keeping good with that average.
Yeah,
But outside of
good
that,
average.
like, comment, subscribe, follow us on the social medias. We have TikTok, we've got Facebook, we've got all of them. We've got the YouTube, which is where you're here at now. We've got Twitch. Subscribe, follow, send us your comments, send us your questions that you want us to ask, maybe topics that you want us to cover in an episode. Obviously, we'll try and get to those, if there's nothing too crazy breaking for the news that week. And outside of that, we greatly appreciate you watching, and we hope that you have a great rest of the week. Appreciate you tuning in, and everybody take care.
Take care, buddy.
Yeah, no, you're good from being able to be heard. Not me though. Haha.